was saying, "Did you not watch yesterday's game?" And I'm sitting there to myself like,
one game.
Like, not only was it one game, but we got shut out, so no one did anything. Like Mookie didn't, JBJ didn't, like, Martinez didn't. No one did. So how are you gonna say that? But in the last month, Nunez, Devers, Holt, all playing with Vasquez, all playing well.
And we got dealt yesterday too. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like they were just going after us.
Yeah, Terry said it best. I mean, we go out and these guys have their best games against us, and Manaea did it with a no-hitter, which shouldn't have been a no-hitter, should have been a one-hitter, but they got a little.
Yeah, Finney's still mad.
Yeah, and then with LeBlanc yesterday. So, are these guys going to do this again, especially in October? I don't think so, to be honest. I mean, Oakland's not even going to be there in October, and Seattle, they had the longest drought of not being in the playoffs out of anybody in the four major sports, I'm pretty sure. So
it's old enough to drive, let's put it that way.
Yeah, they're no lock for the postseason either. So I think the bottom of the lineup's really turned it around this month, and pitching-wise has been amazing from the starters. Even Porcello, who gave up 4 and 6, it's a below-average start, and that's your worst start in the past, couple weeks. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't freaking out all game. I mean, it is weird how, by the time you get to the 5th or 6th inning, one run seems like 10, to try to get on the board when I don't know did we even have anyone reach second base that night? I know Mookie had a leadoff hit, so I don't think so, actually.
Probably not. We were just getting...
Yeah, weird. But, and we're just going to have those nights, and Wright made it a little more palatable because he only gave up 1 run, so so he kept us in there. Yeah, let me talk about this for a minute. I wrote a piece on it. I got roasted. I knew I would, and I don't really expect you guys to be with me on this, but when Stephen Wright was in the bullpen from May 15th through the 31st of that month, so just over 2 weeks. Matt Barnes, 5 appearances, no earned runs. Joe Kelly, 7 appearances, no earned runs. Heath Hembry, 5 appearances, 2 earned runs. That gave him a 3.60 ERA over that span. Craig Kimbrell, 8 appearances, 2 earned runs, though I think both were meaningless. He gave up a solo shot in at least one of them and still got the save. Wasn't really a big deal. He was 235 over that span, and Wright, was 240 in the pen, and that was only because he gave up 2 runs in long relief in his first 2 outings, and never gave up another run after that. Never even gave up a hit to a lefty in that span, and the reason why I think, at least temporarily, he would be good in the bullpen is because only once during that 16 days did anybody other than Kimbrell have to pitch in back-to-back days, and that was Joe Kelly one time. He pitched May 25th and 26th. Everybody else never had to pitch consecutive days because Wright had the ability to go, 2 or 3 innings if needed. And I think that helped Barnes, Kelly, and even Hembry pitch a lot better because they were a little more rested. They were, they weren't taxed. They didn't have to worry about coming in after getting knocked around the night before. And I just think he made it better. And for at least the time being, until at least Thornburg comes back maybe, I like Wright in the bullpen because he makes those guys better and everything's relaxed. And if Erod, for instance, today couldn't go, into the 6th inning, then, well, at least we'd have someone to turn to. And if you look back to the start yesterday with Wright, we were going to lose that no matter who was pitching. We just weren't hitting. So then go back 2 days to Porcello. Maybe Wright's the guy that comes in that inning and gets the ball to Kimbrell and we win that game. So I think we win more games with him pitching 2 or 3 out of every 5 days than he does 1 out of every 5, at least for now, I feel like. I mean, just food for thought.
Austin, go ahead.
It's all you, bud.
All right, thanks. Geez, this guy's so nice over here, these southern people down in Texas. So, I don't agree at all. And the reason why I don't agree is because you look at Stephen Wright's last 3 starts and take away what the other pitcher did, like, what LeBlanc did and what Bundy did. He, in his last 3 starts, 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs. 6 2/3, 4 hits, no earned runs. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. That is going to give you more of a chance to win than his last 3 bullpen appearances before that, which were 3 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, and then a weird one in Houston, which was 3 innings, 1 hit, but 3 walks and 4 Ks. That was a weird one. He actually had another walk in the Atlanta one as well, which he ended up winning. But the reason why he helps us more here is because we have a guy in the bullpen that can come in to give more than 1 inning on a regular basis, which is Velasquez, who's been really good this year, minus the bumps here and there. He's been really good. And if you wanted to say that, Wright could have came in for Porcello and kind of bridged the gap to Kimbrel there, Velasquez could as well, but the bullpen's been great the past month. And if you go back and look at, our schedule and stuff like that, you got to go back a while to kind of find when they kind of stunk it up. And I think the biggest one they stunk it up was in Houston. After that, Detroit, fine. White Sox, fine. Baltimore, that Stephen Wright start, they came out and they pitched like 8 innings of no-run baseball, and then it was the Seattle game. And then you got to go back into, May, and you look around, Blue Jays 6-4, Blue Jays 8-3, 8-3, the Braves 7-1, but I'm pretty sure that was a Chris Sale start. So, and then the Tampa Bay series, 2 runs, 1 run, 6 runs, and I believe that was a bad start too. So the bullpen's been great, and we have a guy in Velasquez, but Wright is giving you, the option to get just right to Kelly and Kimbrel. And I think getting the option to go to your 8-9 guy from your starter is better than hoping that your starter doesn't only go 6 innings and then putting him 2 outs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, he went 7 innings 3 times in a row, 6 2/3, whatever. That is Kelly and Kimbrel. I'd rather do that than wait for a pitcher to stink and then bring Wright in, because that may not happen for 5 games in a row.
So basically, we all know the idea of baseball, to score more runs than the other team. Stephen Wright gives this team basically a head start offensively, or he should, because he's always going to go at least four innings without giving up a run. I mean, the scoreless streak just ended, obviously, RIP the scoreless streak, but, I mean, having Stephen Wright out there gives you something different in the rotation that they don't see from anything else in the rotation. And having a knuckleball guy in the rotation, in my opinion, is huge.
Well, here's another, dynamic. If Sale is pitching, 94 to 100 throughout the game, and that's what guys are setting up for. Yeah, that's what they're focused in on. And then you have Wright coming in throwing 72. I think that's part of what makes him really good. And I like Hector Velasquez. I don't think he's been quite the same since that, what I thought was a phantom injury with his back. He went on, I forget who got activated for him to go on the DL, but then 48 hours after he's on the DL, the Carson Smith thing goes down. And so I don't know if that really was a phantom injury for Velasquez, but he's given up hits here and there. And, if he goes back to the way he was before, then I feel a little bit better about Wright in the rotation. But the one thing that I'm uncomfortable with, though, is what I was kind of getting at was, it doesn't matter what Wright does for 6 or 7 innings. If Kelly's unavailable because he can't pitch 2 days in a row or the 3rd day in a row, and then it's Barnes or Hembry, and they waste his 6 or 7 scoreless innings, that's a tough pill to swallow. And then where Wright's in the rotation, he was unavailable for 4 days before that, and now he's going to be unavailable for the next 3 or 4 days. That's 9 straight days you got absolutely nothing out of him, and I'd just rather take my chance on the 5th start, whoever that ends up being, whether it's whether that ends up being Velasquez, whether it ends up being Pomeranz, who comes back. Hopefully not. I know, Austin, you don't like him.
No.
Or maybe it's Jalen Beeks again, who bounced back very well in his next start in Pawtucket. I don't know. At least until Thornburg comes back, I just like that. And like I said, I know you guys. I know we're going to be a little far apart on that one, but it's just one thing I noticed. I just liked the way the bullpen was the second half of May with him in there. And I love Stephen Wright as a starter. Don't get me wrong. I mean, part of what made the 2016 season so fun was to watch him have that all-star first half
season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's too bad what happened later on with his shoulder when Farrell thought it was a good idea to pinch run him. And why not pinch run Pomeranz? I mean, he was available, probably could run a little faster. Wright's a little pudgy. He's not, as one of my followers put it, he's definitely got a dad bod. And
that's for sure.
Yeah, and so that was unfortunate. And if you guys probably don't remember back that far, but the night or two before, he pitched, I think, a complete game shutout against the Dodgers. So that made it even more brutal. So I love Stephen Wright in the rotation, and if he pitches like this all year and he gets a start in one of the first 3 games in the postseason, I'd love that too. But I'm just looking at wins overall and where games are likely to be won and lost for us. So that's kind of what I was looking at there. But at least we have him, and he's healthy, and he's back, and a big part of this rotation. And it's hard to believe he's. I think he's going to be 34 this year.
Yeah, he's not a young guy at all.
I know. It's like he just got here.
Yeah. I mean, another reason why I like Wright, in the rotation over the bullpen is obviously Joe Kelly. This is probably Joe Kelly's best year, right? With the Red Sox?
Yep, hands down.
Especially in the bullpen.
Well, last year was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
Last year was pretty good.
I just feel like he was quiet, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been great this year, right? And, here are his numbers. Ready? 31 innings pitched, 15 hits, 9 earned runs, a 9.29 K per 9, and a 2.61 ERA with a .9 whip. Really great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
Here are the numbers of your 7th inning guy currently. Matt Barnes. 31.2 innings pitched. 19 hits. 10 earned runs. 11.94 K to 9. 2.84 ERA and a 1.14 whip. It's a little stressful watching him pitch, but he's been lights out. He has one more hold than Joe Kelly as well. So he's pitching just as good as Joe Kelly. And
it's just harder to watch.
It's just harder to watch.
But well, keep going. Go ahead.
He's your 7th inning guy right now. And he can pitch, and the whole multiple days thing, that is based off of Sale, Porcello, Price, and Erod. That's fine. But, Price has been great recently. Sale most likely will give you 7 innings. So there's 2 starts right there. Porcello will give you at least a quality start every single time, plus usually more. He's usually like a 6 1/3 type of guy, maybe even 6 2/3. Erod's the one that is the one where he's giving you 5 1/3, 5 2/3, and then Wright himself is going to give you so far 7 innings every single time, pretty much. So you have those 2 guys there, and then right under him is Hembry, who once again, kind of tough to watch. He gives up some runs with his 4 ERA, but he has 9 holds to himself, an 11.45 K through 9. And 30 innings pitched as well. So I understand some guys can't go every single night. Kelly might be one of them. But the bullpen's doing great, and they're going to have hiccups here and there. And if Wright can give you games, like Austin said, a 7-inning lead on guys, I don't think we're going to get shut out every single time Wright pitches, which is what we've been doing. But, I don't think that's going to happen every single time.
There's no reason that this offense should go back-to-back nights not scoring runs.
Yeah,